Good day to you.
Good day to you.
As we continue our conversation, our chat on the topic of materialization, we wish to ask you, as it pertains to moment, as we were saying in our previous conversations, materialization is not this grandiose thing on the external level, but it is very dependent on the moment to moment, because this is where your power lies. The determining factor about this moment and the next moment is your level of openness, your level of receptivity. Materialization is, we'll say, dependent on your level of openness to receiving life, frequency, experiences, emotionality, all of it. When we talk about loving what is, we really mean, are you receiving? Are you open to what is present? Are you loving what is present? Are you allowing the experience of what is present to flow through you? Right?
Yes.
And would you say that in any given moment, it's easy for you to map and locate where you are on the openness scale?
Yes, and the easiest way to do that is by your physical body, how much tension you're holding in your physical body.
Absolutely. This is the greatest determining factor. It will give you, it is a compass. It will give you the exact measurement of how open versus how contracted or closed up that you are. So, with that being said, where would you want to go?
So, in our last conversation, you said that moving forward, we want to talk about materialization, not manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
Could you, and I'd like to get more clear on the difference between the two, because even though the difference is subtle, I'm sure that vibrationally there's still significance between the two, otherwise you wouldn't have brought it up or made that clarification.
So, we love this question because in some way, both words are interchangeable. But in the context of changing the word manifesting to materializing, the whole purpose of this is that you have been playing with the word manifesting for quite some time. You have created your own stories and your own ideas around what it means, around how it produces, how it manifests. Working with the word materializing, we wish for you to sense and intuit into the feeling of how materialization includes the co-creation process with Source. Even though manifestation also did, there was more of the idea of, I need to do this exact formula in order to pluck this thing out of the ethers and make it happen in the 3D. Materialization is more of a co-creative process of a weaving in moment to moment, staying open, staying precise, staying intentful, staying clear, and allowing things to unfold because you are so immersed in the beauty and deliciousness of your moment to moment experience. Materialization is a byproduct of how you feel moment to moment. It's no longer this thing that you need to make happen in order to fulfill this void that you cannot deal with or feel, that you are avoiding or resisting.
So, this definition seems to tie in beautifully with the concept that we've talked about in the collective of organic unfolding.
Yes.
So, if somebody is more playing in the realm of manifestation, they're still in the realm of trying to apply a formula to bring realization, to bring matter into form, to make things happen.
They are still attached to an outcome.
And materialization feels like it's more in the domain of playing in the satisfaction, playing in the organic unfolding, playing in the beauty of reality. Not being concerned with manifestation, although you still have desires, there's a deeper, maybe, level of acceptance.
Yes, because you are open to what is present now. You are open to deliciousness. The deliciousness that is now is what organically unfolds into materialization. You are not attached to an outcome. You're not desperate or needing or impatient for this thing to happen because it will fulfill this void, or it will offset or bypass this feeling of dissatisfaction.
And what you just described to me sounds like where 99.999% of people are at in this realm of law of attraction.
Yes, it's the most empowering thing you can do is have the ability or develop the tool or the skill to locate where you're at. Meaning, am I feeling open or am I feeling contracted? When I think about my desire, when I play with the vision and the dream of my desire, how does my body react? Why is it reacting that way? Why do I feel resistance? Why am I feeling stuckness or density in my chest as I think about my desire? Why am I feeling tired and feeling heavy as I think about my desire? If you have the ability to locate where you are, if you have the ability to map out your body's reactions in the presence of your desire, in the frequency presence of your desire, this is where your power lies. It's not in the vision boards. It's really about locating where you are.
And when you say locating where you are, that's in the context of how you feel and your level of openness and receptivity, correct?
Yes, having the ability to scan yourself and knowing, once you are very familiar with your baseline of what neutrality and feeling good feels like, meaning when you work through a lot of your density and you've integrated a lot more pieces of yourself, you sort of reach this baseline point, this neutrality. And this neutrality, we say neutrality very lightly because it's actually a very feeling good state. It's a very, your natural state is feeling good. So this baseline is feeling good. So as soon as you are being introduced with some density or some heaviness or tiredness or anything that sort of feels off in your body, in your system, this is just a map. It's just showing you, it's pointing you, it's giving you an opportunity to look at something that just simply needs integration, right?
Yes.
So it's a good thing that most of you have the ability to recognize what is your natural state now. Because you have done work for so long, it's easier to recognize when something is off kilter, when something is not your norm. Because your baseline, your feeling good state is the norm. So when we say mapping, when we say locating, we mean acknowledging that your baseline is you feeling light and free and good and delicious and enjoying your reality. And that when something, maybe a bad thought comes in and it's looping, maybe it's frustration, maybe it's disappointment, maybe it's fear, anxiety, whatever comes in, you will pick it up right away because it feels off from the baseline.
And then when you pick it up and you recognize and you're consciously aware that something feels off, I'm assuming the next step is
Integration.
integration, transmuting that dense
Loving
energy.
it, yes. Allowing it to be present, not cutting it off, not making it wrong, not resisting it, rejecting it, because this is why this part of you, it's just looking to be shed some light on. This is what you call shadows. It's in the shadow because it hasn't been allowed to be seen. It hasn't been allowed to surface. So these pieces simply need integration. They need to be loved. They need to be heard. So this is how you become more whole. This is how you gather pieces to expand your wholeness. You're already whole. It's just some parts of you have cut off other parts of you because you have judged these parts unlovable, right?
Yes.
You follow us. And we've had many conversations about this in the past.
Yes, and this is the work we've been doing for a while in our communities.
Exactly.
So for those who are listening to this audio and who are resonating with what's being shared and who want to improve their materializations, would you say the first practical action step is to simply practice being more consciously aware of their level?
Locating your state. Am I open or am I more on the contraction side? Am I closed? Am I allowing life to come through me? If you have the ability to simply scan yourself, all your bodies, not only the physical, but all of them, just feeling into your wholeness, feeling into your field, and sensing if where you stand on the spectrum. Is it more open? Is it more closed? It really begins with that simple process, because you can correlate open and closeness to overflow and scarcity, to contraction and expansion, to receptivity and being closed off to receive. Right? You see the difference. It's the polarity dance that you're all here to play with. But having the ability to locate moment to moment where you stand in your field, in your frequency, determines everything, because it determines what you will experience as the mirror of your physical reality.
And then the next step, once we become aware of what we're practicing moment to moment, I'm assuming is recalibrating ourselves to our desired state.
Yes, or even just, it can begin with simply softening up, allowing the tension to go, allowing yourself to let go even a little bit more, making your jaw softer, making your body more mushy. It's really so basic that most of you will miss this. Because the more you practice this state of being, of allowing resistance to leave, allowing softness to come in, allowing openness to be present, this becomes your baseline. Because this is your natural state and this is where you thrive naturally. It's in the resistant state that things close off and that you begin to feel off and that you begin to feel not so much like yourself. Things begin to be a little bit more sticky, your reality gets a little bit harder, there's more challenges. It's all in relation to the state of being that you're carrying in your moment to moment. So you have to really go back to the basic of, how am I feeling right now? Right? And
Absolutely.
catching the sticky thoughts, catching the sticky beliefs, and allowing those things to coexist, because they are part of the human experience. They have been programmed within the human apparatus system. They're not wrong. It's just part of the programs that you've chose to pick up along the way. Because within the engagement, within the oppression, there lies liberation. So whatever topic and theme that you are feeling limited with, limited by, whatever, it could be money, it could be freedom, it could be health, whatever it is that you feel you are struggling with and feels limited or lacking, this is the exact topic that you are here to liberate within yourself. We can guarantee you if there's a struggle, this is where your power lies.
And the liberation is through the conscious awareness and acknowledgement of what we're practicing and the parts of us that are closed up and transmuting them.
By allowing them to be there. The more you love the sticky pieces and the shadowy pieces, the more you love those pieces, because they are only also past versions of you that have been needing to be loved. And the more you soften and not resist them, the more whole you become, the more unconditional you become. Because this is the true definition of forgiveness. It's the allowance of things to be as they are. It's the allowance of things to simply be.
And the allowance is what allows those things to transmute and transform in positive ways.
Because the transmutation happens organically. It's the same as materialization. This is why the conversation has to be shared in a more micro level, meaning the transmutation of these pieces of you that you have resisted happens organically. It happens effortlessly. In the same way that the materialization at the external level happens as the co-creative part of you and Source, but it has to begin in the moment-to-moment mapping and moment-to-moment locating and transmuting and doing the work, what you call the work, right? And it's in doing it in the micro that you will see how this is mirrored into the macro, in what you call materialization, manifesting, showing up in the 3D, right?
Absolutely.
Anything else?
I think that answers my questions for today. Anything else you'd like to add?
This feels complete for today.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.